Hey guys, actually I'm going to do a second video today. Today is the 21st of, or 21st or 22nd? It's Saturday. I think it's the 21st. Yeah, I believe so, the 21st of August. I wanted to do another video because there was a lot of questions today as far as my food storage for especially like the canned goods when the winter comes. Okay, so I'm going to address those things with you guys. Um, The game plan is to continue to work on getting a building in sight here and getting that up, okay? And then working on, there's Nancy. Hey Nance, she's my old girl. She is 14, she'll be 15 in January. And she has adjusted very well. Hi baby girl. She's always been real skinny. I call her my bulimic cat because ever since she was young, she always throws up all the time. So, but she's the old girl. She's, like I said, she'll be 15 in January. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Sorry. Um, so the game plan right along has been to get another building, obviously in sight, get a wood stove in that building, and live in that building as through the winter. And planning on moving all my food storage into the building. Now, because of the setbacks, because of the cancer and everything else, my girlfriend and I have discussed it, and she was the one that actually brought it up. She said, if you have to winter at her house, that I can do that. And then all of us move up here in the spring as a family. So that's obviously going to be an option. Worst case scenario for us, if we can't get the building in place before the snow flies, now, and how bad of a worst case is that? You know, that I would have to, for the winter, move in with my girlfriend. And that we would do then is take obviously all the canned goods and the buckets and store them down there. So that would be obviously an option. My game plan is to continue to be here. If we're not able to do that, then obviously we would go down there for the winter. Now, I still plan on getting a building in sight, on site, and if I have to work on the building throughout the course of the winter, and if we have to winter down with her, then that's exactly what we're going to do. But continuing to work on things up here. So, you know, obviously that is an option that we have, you know, and that's what the nice thing about being in a relationship with somebody is that there's more than just, you know, just counting on myself. I can actually count on her, which is nice as well. So, you know, I mean, I'm not counting on that because I don't want to look at that as, okay, yeah, I can relax because now I have some place to go for the winter. No, I don't want to think like that. I want to continue to think in the aspect of getting the building on site, working on the building, and then we get to November, December, then we'll see what happens. And if we don't have things squared away enough, then obviously, then at that point, if we have to go down to her place for the winter, for December, January, February, and maybe even into March, then that's what we'll do. I mean, but, you know, like I said, my game plan all along has been to be here, to live here full time, and she's planning on joining us in the spring up here regardless anyway. So, you know, her and the kids. So, you know, we're going to have more room, obviously, with more people. So, the game plan is to work on getting a building on site, work on the building, and once we get to November, December, we'll look at where we're at, what we've accomplished, and we'll go from there. So, the option, obviously, as I've said, we may winter at my girlfriend's for the winter. If we do that, then obviously all the food storage will go there so that it's more in a controlled environment temperature wise because I definitely do not want to lose my food to freezing. So that is the option. I just want to make that clear to everybody. You know, I don't want people to think that I'm not thinking about these things because believe me, I think about everything. But the game plan still is to get something on site, um, get a wood stove in it, get it insulated, and to remain here for the winter. If that's not possible to get it all done before the snow flies, with the setback with the cancer and everything, you know, we'll do what we have to do. But like I said, the game plan is still to continue to be here, to work on getting things squared away here. To this is as far as for the winter time. If we get the other building on site and get it going, I will not keep the food in here for the winter. There's no way. It's not insulated. It would get way too cold. The food would freeze. The water bottles would all freeze. Everything would be a mess. So no, that is not a viable option for the winter. Now, just for storage of other stuff, absolutely. But like I said, again, you know, I want to get the building in here, get that going. If we can't do it, I mean, I will have a building here before the snow flies. Now, how much work I get done in the building before the snow flies, that is up to, you know, remains to be seen. Because, like I said, I go back to the doctors on the 15th, they clear me, I go back to work, then I'm working again. So, you know, we'll do what we have to do. I'm going to do the best that I possibly can, and if that's not an option, and we get to that point and we have to, we will go to Laura's for the winter. You know, I wasn't the one that asked, I'll be honest with you. She was the one that offered. So, you know, because we are planning on being together. So, the ultimate plan is in the spring, if we had to, all of us move up here in the spring together. And hopefully, if we're all staying healthy, we can get more done. You know, this setback was not in the game plan. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, I didn't say, hey, you know what? I think the day before I move off grid, I'm going to get diagnosed with cancer. You know, that was not in the game plan. So that was obviously a huge setback for us, and it ruined a lot of plans because, I mean, in the last month, I obviously would have continued working on things up here. I mean, I was getting quite a bit done before I had the surgery, and you know, unfortunately, you deal with what you have to deal with. Life is going to throw obstacles in your way, but it opens other doors. You know, I got a chance to meet Laura, and it worked out really, really good. Obviously, I'm very happy being with her, and you know, we'll see how everything pans out. But like I said, I wanted you guys to know that my plans as far as the food goes, the ultimate plan is to get the building on site, get it squared away, get a wood stove in there, live here through the winter, and have it obviously be comfortable in the building. And if that's not an option, if we don't have the time, then we will go to Laura's for the winter, and continuing to work up here throughout the entire winter. So there will be videos continuing regardless if we are living with Laura, if we have to do that. But like I said, right now the game plan is to continue to stay right here and work on our situation here. And you know, like I said, if we have to go there for the winter, that is an option. So it's a nice option to have. You know, I'm not like locked in like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So, you know, but like I said, the game plan is to continue to work up here, get things done, get things squared away, and getting that food out of the building, getting the water out of the building, getting my batteries out of the building, getting, you know, the water tank over here out from outside, and getting that all inside. So, you know, those are what the ultimate game plan is. And we will work on everything as we go. So that's what we're working on. And so I wanted to share that with you guys so you guys knew exactly what was going on, because I know that that's a lot of concern for people. And I appreciate the concern, don't get me wrong. It's on my mind as well, okay? Believe me, I haven't not thought of all these different scenarios and the delays because of this surgery. And again, like I said, I'm still 3 weeks out from going back to the doctors. So, you know, I have to look at that too. How am I going to feel in 3 weeks? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling, you know, I still have a lot of tightness in my back. You know, it's getting better, but we're getting there. And, you know, so that's it. I wanted to share that with you guys so you guys understood where we're at, what's going on, what the game plan is. Okay? So things are going to be taken care of. All right? I'll talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out.